Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's MargaretGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Well, I've got an old reliable friend in the way of the coffee and an old reliable coffee mug, but we've also got some news regarding this coffee mug. Well, hang on 1 minute. Let me get a sip. Hang on. Oh yeah, that's terrific. Once again, from Costco, we're using the Kirkland Summit Roast right there. Let's see if we can zoom in there. Yeah, there we go. Right there. How about that, huh? Summit Roast, organic medium roast coffee from Kirkland, from Costco. The Kirkland brand from Costco. This is terrific. This really, really is. And we're using our Buc-ee's mug this morning. A big thank you to Barry Bedford, a Texan Shaves, for the Buc-ee's mug, and a big thank you to Beth and Jim Jones down there Texas way for introducing the 3MB, the channel, and all the viewers out there to Buc-ee's, because they sent us a t-shirt, and that's what got everything kicked off in all things Buc-ee's. And I didn't know anything about Buc-ee's, and Beth sent that t-shirt, and that's how we learned about Buc-ee's. And as you know, Buc-ee's has a location in Dayton, Ohio. Well, the big news is that next year there'll be another Buc-ee's location in Ohio, in Mansfield, Ohio, at I-71 and State Route 39, I think is where it's going to be. And that's probably about an hour and 40 minutes from where I live. Yeah, Mansfield, Ohio is about the halfway mark from Cleveland to Columbus. And so it'll be an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that, from my front door to Buc-ee's. Rest assured, we're making a visit as soon as it opens up. No doubt about it. So that was big, big news. I've been meaning to tell you that the last 2 or 3 shows, and I kept forgetting to put it into show notes. And today was the day I thought, you know what? I got to put that in the show notes and let everyone know that Buc-ee's is going to have a second location here in Ohio, Mansfield, Ohio. And it's not that far away from me. So I'm really looking forward to visiting Buc-ee's in 2027. Yeah, hang on. Let me get another sip here. Yeah, and as we like to say on the show, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Absolutely. Hey, for taking me along on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really do appreciate that. If you're listening to the audio podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning in via all those great streaming platforms like iHeartMusic, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, that sort of thing. Great to be with you this morning. Really, really terrific. We got a great show lined up for you here. Let me get over to my notes here and go to my topics, and here we go. Oh, hey, we got a great shaving tip here from you from John's Pipe Journey. It's a really great shaving tip. It kind of folds into a previous shaving tip we've had, but we're going to share it with you because there are some qualifiers there. Okay, well, stay tuned for that. We also have a great shave den visit from David Trinks. David, thank you very, very much, and more to come from him as well down the road. We got the usual. We've got the usual. One. That's really good. Okay, we've got the usual round of reminders for you this morning. We got some great refill comments, some wonderful new wet shaving gear to share with you this morning, and some questions and comments to wrap up the show. So great to be with you this morning. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee. Maybe you've got a Buc-ee's mug with you right now as well. Really looking forward to Buc-ee's in Mansfield, Ohio in 2027. And before you know it, we'll be on the road. and when I do visit, we're going to do a video as well. Absolutely. You have to. Absolutely. So great to be with you this morning. Thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Hey, let's get the show kicked off like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer John R. Newton, also known as John's Pipe Journey. That's his screen name, and you can catch his comments and screen name in the comment section of most Monday morning mailbags. Thanks very much for sending this along, John. Really do appreciate it. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. I just thought of another shave tip that you can use for a different day. This one is just a short cautionary tip. Alum, which we all know is actually a salt, does not play well with aluminum or pot metal. That being said, you don't want to put any alum on the hand that you hold your razor. I use alum in my non-dominant hand so I get a better grip on my skin. I'm very careful not to ever get alum on my right hand if I'm using a razor that might corrode easily. A lot of the German razors are chrome-plated pot metal. If there is a breach in the chrome, that salt will go to town on that pot metal and destroy it. The same goes for aluminum. They are hard anodized, but if you scratch them, then the aluminum will be susceptible to major corrosion." Well, I hope this is helpful. Fondly, John R. Newton, also known as John's Pipe Journey. John, thank you very, very much. And again, that's the qualifier we mentioned in the opening of the show, that generally speaking, it's okay. I use alum sometimes to rub on my fingers to improve the grip of a razor like this. This is the Merkur 23C, which is the closed comb razor. The 25C, I believe, is the open comb version of this. But yeah, this is a Zamac, also known as pot metal, generally speaking, and it has been chrome plated. And yeah, I can understand if for some reason this gets scratched or pitted or something happens to the plating where the plating is removed somehow, that the alum can get in there and yeah, possibly corrode that metal that's in there. Also the same with aluminum, from what John is telling us, that if the hard coating, the hard anodized coating, is scratched or it's breached in some way, then that alum salt might get on there and corrode that razor. But generally speaking, as long as you keep your razors in good shape and you keep the plating intact, that sort of thing, I think you're okay. However, be aware that this might happen, because I love using an alum block, and every once in a blue moon I do rub my fingers on it right here, and I use that to increase the grip of the razor if I'm using a really, really slick pre-shave oil or a really, really slick shaving cream lather, that sort of thing. But I haven't done it in a long time. But every once in a blue moon, I will do that. And now that I know this, I'll be careful to make sure that the razor I'm using is, make sure that it's nice and solid, and that the plating is very good and a hole and that sort of thing. So a really, really terrific shaving tip from John R. Newton regarding alum and the use of your razor. John, thank you very, very much. Now, John already has an original signed George sketch for sending in a previous shaving tip. But if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just send me a shaving tip. Send that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use your shaving tip here on the Viewer Morning Shaving Tips segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So, John, thanks again for a really, really terrific shaving tip. Folks, comment below and let us know if you also hold to this practice regarding alum and the use of a razor. Again, John, thanks very much for a terrific shaving tip. Really do appreciate it. Okay, it's time for a shave den visit.
Grab your favorite shave soap, whip it up, rich and creamy, fill your cup, boom, lather. Hot towel ready, face feels prime, a classic shave, so smooth, so fine. 30 degrees, a light touch, let the razor do the work, no need to rush. Shave like a pro, close and neat, a shave so smooth it can't be beat. Slap on your favorite splash, feel that glow. Shave complete, now you're ready to go. Boom, shave complete, you're ready to go.
Well, this morning's Shave Den visit comes courtesy of viewer David Trinks. And David writes, Mark, so check this out. I happened to be in the right place at the right time on Etsy and scored this unused, still in the box, gold tech razor for $48 with free shipping. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. Congratulations, a wonderful addition to your Shave Den, David. That's really a great looking razor. Wow. He goes on here to ask, what is your favorite vintage razor besides your dad's or granddad's oldie but goodie? I have to say I'm partial to a bunch of Slims that I own and the pre-war techs I just got. You were right, they're great shavers. Gillette sure knew what they were doing. He also followed up here with some additional photos of his Shave Den, but he puts this qualifier in there. Hello, Mark. I know I don't have a specific Shave Den, so I took some pictures of stuff laying around the house. Most of these are vintage 1940s regular red tip, black handle flare tips, a bunch of Slims, Fat Boys, pre- and post-war techs, and the modern razors I use in rotation. He goes on to say that he'll be sending in some more photos and more descriptions of some of the shaving gear that he has in the Shave Den. And David, we're really looking forward to seeing that. That is really fantastic. You got some great shaving gear in your Shave Den, and you scored an absolutely gorgeous vintage razor on Etsy. Absolutely beautiful. And as far as my favorite vintage razor, which isn't one that belonged to my father or my grandfather, that sort of thing, I have to say I'm really partial to this Gillette J3 right here, Gillette Slim J3, because this is the razor that Sean Connery, James Bond, used in Goldfinger. And I had this replated and tuned up by Chris Evett at razorplate.com, and it looks gorgeous. It looks brand new. Look at that. It just looks absolutely brand new. So yeah, if you can find a great Slim with a little bit of a history or tradition in his background, whether it belonged to a family member like a father or a grandfather, it makes it oh so special. This particular one happened to be the same year that the movie Goldfinger was released, which is why I'm very fond of it. And of course, the Gillette Slim, fantastic razor. And my gosh, David, you have some great Gillette Slims there and some great vintage shaving gear. And again, especially that beautiful new vintage razor that you scored new in box. That is absolutely gorgeous. So David, thanks very much for sharing your Shave Den with everyone this morning. Really do appreciate it. We look forward to seeing more photos of your Shave Den. Folks, stay tuned. David, thanks again very much. Well, here's your reminder to check out shavesplash.com. This is a website that was created by viewer Lee Meyer. If you happen to have a shave soap, but you don't have an aftershave splash for it, well, shavesplash.com is a scent matching website. So you'll be able to find a complimentary aftershave scent that will go with that shaving soap. Really terrific. And they also have some great articles and features up there. So check it out. We'll have the link below, shavesplash.com, from viewer Lee Meyer. Well, the channel now has auto dub technology courtesy of Google and YouTube. And as the name suggests, it will automatically translate this audio from English into Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. Pretty amazing. Simply click on the gear in the lower right of the video screen. A menu will pop up, and there you can select the language that you wish to hear the audio in: Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. It translates it from English to any of those languages in real time, on the fly. Pretty amazing. Auto dub. Check it out. Well, here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low. That time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on. Let me get another sip here. This is good stuff. This is a good coffee. Hang on. Yeah, that's really good. Once again, from Costco, Kirkland Summit Roast in the Keurig cups. Boy, got a lot of these. But it's really a great, flavorful coffee. Other viewers have confirmed that, being members of Costco and that sort of thing. And Costco has a lot of great stuff there, but their Kirkland brand is consistently very, very good quality. I like that. I like it a lot. I like all the Kirkland stuff, and I especially like their Kirkland Summit Roast. Next time around, we'll probably get something different. I think they have a breakfast blend or a donut shop, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but we'll probably try that one again. Kirkland Summit Roast. Really, really terrific. And of course, we're using the Buc-ee's mug. A big thank you to Barry Bedford, and a big thank you and tip of the hat to Beth Jones for kicking it all off, introducing all of us to Buc-ee's. A new Buc-ee's is opening in Ohio, the second location, Mansfield, Ohio, and that's only an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that, depending on where they're going to put it in Mansfield, from my front door. So I'm really looking forward to visiting the new Buc-ee's next year sometime, whenever they have their grand opening or thereabouts. If they have a grand opening, it's absolutely mobbed with people. You're not going to be able to get near the place. So I'm going to I'll probably have to wait for things to calm down a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to visiting Buc-ee's finally, because it's going to be so close to where I reside. I'm really looking forward to making that drive. So Buc-ee's coming to Ohio again in Mansfield, Ohio. Hang on, let me get another sip here. Oh, that's great. And again, a big thank you to Barry Bedford for the mug. And thanks again to Beth and Jim Jones for introducing all of us to Buc-ee's when they sent that t-shirt to the show. Thank you again, Beth and Jim. Really, really do appreciate it. And how's the coffee you're drinking this morning? Is it healthy? Well, check out Mantic 59's website, The Black Coffee Life, where he talks about all the health benefits of drinking black coffee. And also check out the Lockhorns. Someday we'll look back on this and quickly change the subject. A wonderful hardcover collection of great Lockhorns cartoons. And they also have a calendar. There's plenty of year left where you can use this calendar. The Lockhorns Laugh-A-Day calendar. The Lockhorns 2026 Laugh-A-Day calendar. A really, really terrific item. Both of those by my good friends John Reiner and Bunny Host. Will have links below where you can check them out on Amazon. Two really, really terrific Lockhorns items. Okay, hang on 1 minute. Another sip. Hang on 1 minute. That's terrific. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. Yeah, the official coaster of the Monday Morning Mailbag from soapspoon.com and Andy Kaiser. This is a great one. Picked this up at the Maggard meetup. He was giving these out. These are great. These are absolutely great. Andy, thank you again. The official coaster of the Monday Morning Mailbag right there, soapspoon.com, and check out that product. That is really, really neat. Something you'll want to have in your shave den to scoop out your favorite shaving soap or shaving cream. Absolutely. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now we're all set. Little housekeeping done. Let's get to some of these great comments here, these great refill comments. This comes from Craig Allison-VV8LP, I think it is. Good morning, Mark. I want to thank you for all the hard work you put into your channel. It really shows. I hope you have a great week ahead. Craig, thank you so very, very much. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, it takes some time in going through some of the material and getting it all organized and getting it ready to put on camera and present and that sort of thing. But again, it always goes back to the viewers and the audience out there. They make this channel and this show possible. I say it all the time. Without you, this microphone would be silent, and that's very, very true, because we have so many great viewers out there that very generously give some great information, tips, gear, etc. It really is wonderful, and heartfelt appreciation to everyone out there. And they make the process so much easier and a real joy to do, because I look at my inbox and all this great information from viewers is right there, and I get really, really excited. Well, what is what is this individual sent in, and what kind of shaving tip are they sending, and where are the pictures of their shave den visit, that sort of thing. Well, look at that. Yeah, I click on them and I find them. Yeah, it really is a lot of fun. It takes some time, but I enjoy the traditional wet shave. I enjoy talking about it. And the viewers out there, they make it all possible. So my thanks to everyone for contributing to this show and to this channel. Craig, I will pass along your thanks to all of them. Thanks very much for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. This comes from Shave Off, which is really Christian Ortleb, and he writes, "Thank you very much for talking about the Tappy safety razor. I totally appreciate your kind help. Now I'll watch the rest of today's 3MB. Have a wonderful day. Greetings from Schleswig, Holstein, Germany." I hope I pronounced that correctly, Christian. Of course, he's got that great Tappy razor that just launched. We're going to be talking about it again in New Wet Shaving Gear this morning, and we'll have linked information below. Christian, congratulations on the launch of the Tappy razor. That's absolutely wonderful. Jason NYC 2006 writes, Mark Zerady, another great 3MB show. I agree. August is too soon to go back to school. I grew up in the days of after Labor Day, school started. I pray that you're starting your week off great. And he says, God bless you. Hey, thank you very, very much for that, Jason. I really do appreciate that. This is regarding the discussion we had last week. I happened to comment that the local schools are going back to school on August 14th. August 14th, the middle of August. And I happened to comment that I thought that was far too early to start school. And some folks out there agree with that, Jason being one of them. But there's always another side to the argument, and I think we have some of those comments here as well. Jason, thanks again very much for that. I really do appreciate it. John's Pipe Journey checked in again. This is John R. Newton, and this comment is regarding sweating, drinking warm beverages or hot beverages on a hot day, that sort of thing, because we had a little bit of a discussion about that last week. And he writes, yes, Mark, sweating causes natural cooling as the sweat evaporates off of your skin. It draws away latent heat, cooling you off. That's also why most of the really hot, spicy foods come from hot locations. They have found that eating something hot will make you sweat and thereby cool you off. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, because we talked about drinking a hot beverage like a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of tea, something like that on a hot day will cool you off. Well, John gave us the science behind that. John, thank you very, very much. That's really, really fantastic. Folks, comment below and let us know if you agree with that, if you've heard the same thing. John, thanks again very, very much. This comes from WIO Enterprises, WIO Enterprises, and he writes, Rockwell 6S is all you need. For a razor, we've been talking about using 2 razors to complete your shave. We had that shaving tip last week. Check it out. It's really an informative shaving tip. But Rockwell 6S is all you need because you get 6 razors. I'm holding up 3. 3 fingers because there are 3 plates, but each plate gives you a different aggression level. But you get 6 levels of aggression on 3 plates in 1 razor. So yeah, you could do that same kind of approach that we talked about last week. Get the more aggressive razor plate and have your first pass with that, and then get the milder plate and clean up with it that way. Yeah, makes perfect sense. And the 6S is a fantastic razor. I agree. Thanks very much for that, WIO Enterprises. Bart Buzz checked in. Good morning. Today's shaving tip is exactly why I enjoy my Rockwell 6S. For more growth, I can use the R5 or R6 plate and then finish the shave using the R4 or R2 or R3 and R1 plate. But if using 2 safety razors works, that's what DE shaving is all about. Regarding when school starts, they open here on August 3rd. Wow, that's no problem because all the schools have AC. One thing nice about the earlier start is having longer breaks in the fall, at Christmas, and in the spring. I definitely would have enjoyed that during my school days. Well, that makes sense because of holiday travel, sometimes during the winter season, during Christmas break, that sort of thing. Families like to go out of town and visit family and friends and that sort of thing. Get a little more time to do that. I understand it. Again, that's the other side of the argument. And the school has AC. Wow. I never had AC when I was going to school. I didn't have AC going to college. But hey, different world. Bart, thanks very much for sending that along. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, again, another vote for the Rockwell 6S, a wonderful, marvelous razor. Viewer Steve M. 1563 writes, my kids went to year-round school. They went the same number of days in the year, but they took a few less weeks in the summer and moved them throughout the year. It worked well because we could take trips during the less crowded days when the other kids were back in school. I think they made more of their time than with just a big summer vacation. Okay, again, that's the other side of the argument, and it makes sense, and it worked for you, Steve. Yeah, thanks very much for passing that along. Folks, what do you think? Comment below and let us know. Another option, another way of approaching summer vacation and holiday breaks and that sort of thing during the school year. Steve, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate that. This comes from Mr. Tom Engel. And he writes, I wanted to add that I tried the shave tip from Jason Rochester. This was the 2-razor shaving tip. Again, thanks very much for that, Jason. I used my Whittle 22T double single edge razor for the first round and my Merkur 34C for the second and final pass. Both times using Lord Cool blades. Was a truly great shave. No burn, no nicks, no errors. Going to try it again with a different combination of razors. The Lord Cools have become my go-to blade. Thanks to Jason for a great tip. Yeah, again, thank you, Jason. That is a great tip. 2 razors using the same blade or different blades, however you want to do it. But the first razor a little more aggressive and gives you a really close first pass. And the second razor milder, so you can do some nice cleanup and refinement. Yeah. Tom Engel likes it a lot. Tom, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate that. This comes from Nightly Truth. Cucumber Fumbler is a fantastic scent. I remember it from December. Yeah, Cucumber Fumbler is wonderful. We had the review this past Friday. It just launched this past weekend from Phoenix Shaving. We talked about it in a sneak peek last Monday on the Monday Morning Mailbag. It really is marvelous. Cucumber Fumbler, give it a look. It really is fantastic. Nightly Truth, thank you very much for confirming it. It screams summer. It is really a great summer scent, but you can use it all year round and bring a little bit of summer to your shave den during those gray days of winter. Nightly Truth, thanks again very, very much. This comes from David Trinks, 235. Check it in one more time. Excellent show as always, Mark. Beth Jones convinced me to purchase the Cella, so I'm awaiting that to arrive. Yeah, Beth had a great review on Cella Shave Cream last week. Check it out if you missed it. He continues here. I'm working on the modifications of the blade dryer, adding either a recessed or flush mount magnet to get it higher up in people's dens. That's a really good idea. Check out, I think it was last week's Monday Morning Mailbag or the week before. David sent along a little prototype of a blade dryer, and well, check it out. He continues here. A flush mount magnet to get it higher up in people's dens, and also the introduction of a small desiccant chamber to speed up the drying process. I have to say I'm extremely spoiled when it comes to the weather. I spend most of my summer in Massachusetts and Connecticut, wait for fall to arrive and head to Vermont for leaf peeping, then out to Southern California for the winter. I try to avoid the snow and cold. I'll have to pick up a Tappy Razor this week as well. Thanks for all you do for the wet shaving world. Yeah, the Tappy Razor looks like a good one. And what a great way to spend your year getting all the great weather year round. Good for you, David. Thanks very much for checking in. Really do appreciate it. And we look forward to those modifications on the blade dryer. Thanks very much for the update. Really do appreciate that. This comes from W. Low Enterprises. Oh, this is WEO again. You know what? I said WEO Enterprises. It's W. Low Enterprises. So I think I got that wrong the first time around. W Low Enterprises. It looks like an I here. Anyhow, put a magnet on the back of the blade dryer and stick it up high. Well, he's doing that. So David's ahead of the curve. But thank you for that. W Low Enterprises. Really do appreciate that. This comes from viewer Stan Chapman, 55. The graphic with razors in the viewer morning shaving tip has Merkur misspelled as Meeker. Mekur. Yeah, you know what? I saw that. I apologize for that. Sometimes I'm typing too fast or it's getting late at night when I'm putting some of the final touches on graphics and that sort of thing. So yeah, okay. I'll try to be a little more aware of what's going on when I'm doing that. I need to slow down my typing skills. My typing skills aren't that great. I need to slow down a little bit and do a little proofreading. But thank you very much for pointing that out. Really do appreciate that. Sometimes I get too busy or have health issues, and it's 7 to 8 days between shaves. I'm glad the viewer found a solution, but my solution was the Merkur 15C. Even with milder blades, it mows right through the long, tough beard, but is gentle enough for daily use. I find it amazing. These Merkur razors really are terrific. Now, we showed you earlier the Merkur 23C. I don't think I've used the 15C. 15C looks like the equivalent of a 3-piece razor that kind of looks like the Merkur 34C, which is a 2-piece razor. That's kind of the way it impresses me from the photo. I've never used one, but that's my initial impression of it. Please comment below and let us know. Do you use a 15C? And is that the configuration of it, so to speak, about the same size of a 34C, only as a 3-piece razor? I don't think I have a 15C. I know I've got the 34C, I've got the 23C, and I have the 25C, which is the open comb version of the 23C. And they are great razors. And I like this one. This one is really, really nice and mild. And I really, really like the long, slim handle here. It really is a wonderful razor. Merkur makes some wonderful, wonderful razors. And Stan, thank you very much for the recommendation of the 15C if you don't want to use 2 razors for your shave. Stan, thanks very, very much. Viewer Bill Murphy checked in and he writes, "Great show as usual, Mark. Looks like it's going to be another hot week here, and we have family coming to visit from Texas. I sent you an email about an Italian shave." Yeah, we're going to talk about that in questions and comments. Stay tuned. A really, really neat event. And a big thank you to Bill Murphy for the heads up on this. Bill, thank you very, very much for that email. Really, really do appreciate that. He continues here. "I remember going back to school just after Labor Day here. I think they moved to an early start date to accommodate for snow days. Looking forward to Cucumber Fumbler. Have a great week." Yeah. Cucumber Fumbler is really a marvelous scent. Great for the summer, great all year round, really, really terrific. It'll wake you up. It's really a very, very good scent. And yeah, starting a little earlier to have a few extra snow days. Yeah, that makes sense, Bill. Thanks very much for passing that along. And thank you again for passing along the heads up regarding an Italian shave. Stay tuned, folks. Questions and comments. We'll give you all the details. Bill, thanks again very, very much. This comes from viewer Charles K. 6814. Hey, Charles, thanks for checking in. He writes, "Bravo, Mark, and greetings from Tennessee. Thanks for a super Monday morning mailbag. Right out of the box, I love the shaving tip. In my experience, Jason R's shaving tip is right on the money, and my only thought about tweaking it is to use one of my adjustable razors beginning first on a more aggressive setting, then lowering it to something more gentle. In my case, it can be the Merkur Progress or Gillette Slim Adjustable. Either one does the trick. Jason is quite correct. The irritation becomes a thing of the past, and as our respective levels of experience improve, so does the shave. The thing which requires the most care for me is to properly respect what I am doing with this sharp instrument while singing and stepping about while singing the Shave Den Visit song. Laugh out loud. It is so good and becomes a highlight of your show. each week, and that's all in caps. Thank you, Charles. But again, a big, big thank you to Mark Vernick for creating it. Thanks again, Mark. He continues here. Don't forget to check your blade collection for the Lord Cool Blades, and please to send a package along to you. As always, with my compliments, thanks, and kindest personal regards, Charles K. Charles, I'm going to check right now. Don't go away. Hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm mistaken. I thought these were the Lord Cool Blades, but I believe David Trink sent these in. These are the Lord Platinum blades right there. Okay, Platinum class blades. And for some reason, I was thinking these might be the Cool Blades. I could have sworn I saw Lord Cool Blades someplace. I just can't find them. I'm thinking maybe I'm confusing it with some other labels, some other blades that viewers have sent in. But I might be mistaking it for this one here, the Lord Platinum class. Let me show you that again, because that's right like that. Lord Platinum class right there. Okay. So I might be confusing with this or some other brand of blade that has a label that maybe I'm confusing it with Lord Cool Blades. So I don't think I have the Cool Blades, Charles. So I will send you my address and be more than happy to receive those from you and review them. I'm really excited. Thank you for the offer very, very much. I really do appreciate that. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Hey, we're going to kick things off once again with Cucumber Fumbler. We gave you a sneak peek of this last week, and we also debuted the review of it this past Friday. It just launched this past weekend. This is a marvelous, marvelous scent. Oh, you can see we already used it. I've used it a couple times. This is really a terrific, terrific scent. And here's what they write on their product page. Check this out. Cucumber Fumbler, finally, a truly lost Phoenix shaving classic, has found its way home and just in time for summer. Scent profile. A crisp, garden-fresh cucumber opens the experience with cool, watery green notes that immediately evoke the first slice of a freshly picked cucumber on a warm summer afternoon. Beneath that refreshing brightness lies a soft vegetal sweetness, reminiscent of sprawling backyard gardens, dew on broad green leaves, and vines heavy with fruit. Subtle aquatic nuances lend an airy spa-like cleanliness without drifting into synthetic territory, while delicate green undertones keep the fragrance firmly rooted in nature. The result is calming, cooling, and quietly invigorating. Simple at first breath, yet surprisingly nostalgic, like opening the gate to a summer you've almost forgotten. That describes this scent perfectly and exactly. This is marvelous. Perfect for the summer. Again, great for all year round. Oh man, that is a marvelous, marvelous scent. And of course, Doug Fran, Huxley Cube, and everyone at Phoenix Shaving very kindly sent us the shave soap and the aftershave splash. This is marvelous. Give it a look. From Phoenix Shaving, Cucumber Fumbler. Again, my thanks to Doug Fran, Huxley Cube, and everyone at Phoenix Shaving for very kindly and generously sending this along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. Check it out. Perfect for the summer. Great year-round. Cucumber Fumbler. Give it a look. We received this from viewer James Sefton, and the subject of the email reads, Goodfellas Crope. And he writes, Mark, I just got this from Amazon, and it's fantastic. Great lather and scent. I would highly recommend it, James. And he sent along the link. And this is the Goodfellas Smile Amber Fougere Lavender and Sandalwood Italian Shaving Soap. Classic tallow crope for use with shaving brush, razor, and traditional wet shave. That looks wonderful. It sounds wonderful. Folks, we'll link it below. Highly recommended by James Sefton from Goodfellas Smile, their Amber Fougere Classic Tallow Crope. Give it a look. James, thanks again very, very much. Well, we have some additional information on that new Tappy safety razor that is just launched. There's a pre-order page up on Alpha Shaving Works. We will link that below. This is a razor being developed, a collaborative effort between Christian Ortleb and Steve Tinter of Alpha Shaving Works. And it's been developed between the two gentlemen. And here's what he has to say here. It's an all-aluminum CNC machine razor colored in the red and blue of the Schleswig-Holstein flag. It's an open comb, 0.80 millimeter blade gap with neutral exposure. The razor weighs 50 grams plus or minus 1. The handle is 95 millimeters long and 14 millimeters in diameter. Design is close to the Eclipse, but 2 more vertical lines, so it's more grippier and a 3-piece razor. It's named after Tappy, my sidekick and mascot from day one. He also mentions here that the deadline, the pre-order deadline, will be July 26th. So if you want to pre-order a Tappy safety razor, you have until July 26th. And we've been showing you some great photos of this razor. It looks absolutely wonderful. We'll have a link below to the pre-order page. Congratulations to Christian Ortleb on the launch of the Tappy safety razor in collaboration with Steve Tinter of Alpha Shaving Works. Wow, that looks absolutely marvelous. Again, Christian, congratulations. Folks, we'll have a link below to the pre-order page. Deadline is July 26th. Christian, thanks again very, very much. David Trinks sent this along recently, and this is the Annbas wall-mounted shaving holder, ABS, DIY assembly type multi-purpose stand for electric toothbrushes, shaving brushes, razors, that sort of thing. It's ABS. It's made out of ABS. Very easy to assemble. And you can see here that this stand is accommodating this 30 millimeter brush that David sent along. Now, I did modify it in one way in that these little grippers here, they will install on 2 clicks. You can push them in a little bit more and it'll click in once more. And I think that accommodates things like safety razors and electric toothbrushes. That's my guess here. But I leave it out on the first click and it accommodates, like I say, this 30 millimeter shaving brush here, or the, check this out. Remember this? This was great. The, there it is right there. The Boom Lather shaving brush, right? Right? How about that? So you put that in there like that and right like that. Yeah. So that accommodates that very, very nicely. There it is. Okay. Yeah, terrific. Really, really terrific. So it'll accommodate a variety of your shaving brushes and also razors, electric toothbrushes, and it's also wall mountable. They give you a little ticky-tacky sticky here that you can affix to the back here and then stick that on the wall and you're good to go. Less than $8. You get a pack of 2 of these. Thank you very, very much, David. Really do appreciate that. It looks like it's a neat little item for your shave den if you're looking to get your shaving brushes off of the counter or your razors off of the counter, that sort of thing. And again, my guess here is that these grippers have 2 different steps so that you can keep it on that first step to accommodate items that are a little wider and then close them into the second step or the second click, and it'll accommodate slimmer items like a safety razor, electric toothbrush, that sort of thing. So my thanks to David Trinks for very kindly and generously sending along to the channel the Annbas wall-mounted shaving holder, great for shaving brushes, razors, and electric toothbrushes. We'll have a link below. Give it a look. Thanks again to David Trinks. Well, we also received a brand new shaving soap from viewer David Trinks. Here it is right here from Broicktown Grooming, no quarter. Check that out right there, huh? Doesn't that look great? The American flag there. This is exclusively available at the Razor Emporium. And here's what they have to say. Broicktown Shaving Soap. We have now paired with Broicktown Grooming to exclusively offer the Broicktown Grooming Shave Soap. Broicktown Grooming is an artisan company that provides American-made goods to the wet shaving community. Orange, clove, and bay leaf are used to create this uniquely soft bay rum. Caribbean piracy was around for over 300 years. No quarter meant that the usual ransom amount for captured sailors, a quarter of a year's salary for the captured, would not be accepted. No prisoners. And once again, the scent description is orange, clove, and bay leaf. Boy, this is a marvelous, marvelous scent. Oh, yeah. It all combined really, really nicely. Oh, this is going to be a great shave. And because of the American flag and no quarter and that sort of thing, we're definitely going to whip up the lather in the Brousseau and Dove Stars and Stripes Shaving Bowl. My thanks to David Altschuler at Brousseau and Dove for very kindly and generously sending this along to the channel. A marvelous shaving bowl. So yeah, we'll use the Broicktown Grooming no quarter shave soap with the American flag with the Stars and Stripes shaving bowl or lathering bowl from Brousseau and Dove, and we'll probably use the America Razor, also available right now at the Razor Emporium. A big thank you to David Trinks for very, very kindly sending along Broicktown Grooming's No Quarter, a marvelous, marvelous scent. And also thank you again to David Altschuler for the Stars and Stripes lathering bowl. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Folks, we'll have links below. Well, in a previous Monday Morning Mailbag, we introduced you to Skintimate. This was very kindly sent to the channel by viewer David Trinks, and Beth Jones offered this review of Skintimate Sensitive 2-in-1 Shave Oil Plus Moisturizer. It's fragrance-free, and this is a 7.3 fluid ounce bottle. Here's what she has to say. Primary ingredients: water, glycerin, shea butter oil, chamomile, jojoba seed oil, vitamin E oil, aloe vera, and sweet almond oil. First impression: when I received my bottle of Skintimate shave oil, at first blush, it appeared to be more of a hybrid product. And by that I mean it's not strictly an oil, but according to the label, it is an oil-glycerin combination. Glycerin is a humectant and increases viscosity while also providing additional moisturizing qualities to the product. The shaving gear she used, the Henson Razor version 2.0 and Persona Israeli Red Platinum razor blades. My shaving experience, this is what she writes, my shaving experience. For my shaving needs, I found 4 pumps total of the product was ample. Gentlemen wet shavers may need or require more product depending upon how demanding their shaving needs are. I experienced no tugging or pulling, just lots of slickness and glide. Water to product ratio is important because the shave oil does tend to fade if too much water is added. Rinses quickly and cleanly, leaving the skin soft and moisturized. Skintimate shave oil can be considered as an alternative to traditional shave cream or shave soap and would be an excellent choice for anyone seeking to add another option to their shaving arsenal. If you are experiencing a busy day and need a quick one-and-done shave before dashing out the door, Skintimate 2-in-1 shave oil would certainly fit the bill for that as well. Not only does it provide a close, comfortable shave, but it rinses easily while leaving the skin soft and moisturized without leaving an oily buildup or residue on the shaving gear. As always, your mileage may vary, and that comes from Beth Jones, where her motto is, one can never have too many wet shaving accessories. That's her signature. Beth, I agree. Thank you very, very much. And thanks for the terrific review of Skintimate 2-in-1 shaving oil plus moisturizer. Your findings parallel very closely to what I found. And I also found, and I'll just add this, you're absolutely correct. 4 pumps is probably ample. If you have a little more demanding beard or a little more beard growth, you're going to want to give a few more pumps. Don't be shy about it. And Beth is absolutely correct. Watch that water to shave oil ratio, because a little too much water will thin it out. But it is a terrific, terrific product. It'll give you a good, quick shave, and you can also use it as a pre-shave. Beth, thanks again for a terrific review of Skintimate 2-in-1 shave oil plus moisturizer. We'll have a link below. Beth, thanks again very, very much. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. Well, we received this from viewer Roger Stanley up over, and he writes, "Good morning, Mark. I had just prepared a second giant pour-over cup about a half hour into the 3MB show when I heard someone at my front door. My door camera hadn't yet signaled that a delivery had arrived, but I peeked through the blinds and saw Roy from Reasonable Grounds Coffee hustling back to his vehicle. I opened the door, and there and behold was the biggest bag of coffee I've ever seen. I dumped out the cup of coffee I had just prepped and hastily made a cup of the tasty, newly arrived Road Dog coffee, turned 3MB back on, and literally in heaven. This is the best coffee I've ever had, by the way. Reasonable Grounds Coffee gives 25% of the earnings to the first responders' local charities here in the Edmonton area. And I decided to include a picture of the monstrous 5-pound bag for you to see. This should last me for a bit. Hope you are well and enjoying your summer." And that's from Roger Stanley in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, up over. Roger, that's awesome. That is great. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-pound bag of coffee before, and it sounds like a really great coffee, and it's serving a really great cause. Bravo to the folks at Reasonable Ground Coffees with Road Dog Coffee and giving 25% of the earnings to the first responders' local charities there in the Edmonton area. That is absolutely wonderful. Folks, we'll get links below to Reasonable Grounds Coffee, their Road Dog Coffee, a 5-pound bag, so you can check it out personally online. That's awesome. Roger, thanks again very, very much. And enjoy that coffee while you're viewing the 3MB. Really do appreciate it. Roger, thanks again for tuning in and checking in from up over Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thanks again, Roger. Viewers Joel Toronto and David Trinks coincidentally sent in the same link to a YouTube video entitled "Forgotten 1950s Shaving Products We Wish We Still Had." Or do we? Check out the video and you can make your own decision on that. Joel writes, "Hi Mark, hope all is well with you. Check this out. You and the Monday Morning Mailbag viewers will find this very interesting." David Trink sent along the very, very same sentiment. Check it out, folks. We'll have a link below to Forgotten 1950s Shaving Products We Wish We Still Had. Or do we? My thanks to Joel Toronto and David Triggs for very kindly pointing this out and sending along the link. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Hey, we received this from viewer Johnny Logsdon. And he writes, "Okay, I was wondering, is it better to shave your face and head at the same time in the shower? Or is it best to shave your head in the shower and your face at the sink? I was wondering what everyone thinks about this. Hey, that's a great question, Johnny, and I'll leave it to the viewers. Please comment below and let us know what your routine is for shaving your face and shaving your head. How do you go about doing it? Myself, personally, I like to do both in front of the sink. I like to do a morning or afternoon face shave, and then I like to do a head shave in the evening, which is why we call them here on the show, on the program, on the channel, an evening head shave, because I'm actually doing that shave in the evening. I like the feeling of a clean shaven head right before I go to bed. I like the feeling of it being nice and smooth as it hits the pillow. It's a really, really terrific feeling. But there are some times when I will do a head shave in the shower. Now, my go-to for head shaves, as many of you know, is the Supply SE razor, this beautiful single-edge cartridge razor. Love this for head shaves, and I'll use this in the shower. I'll also use it in front of the sink for evening head shaves. I will do an evening head shave sometime in the shower, especially during this hot weather. I like to jump in the shower and get a nice cool shower and kind of cool my core before I turn in, and I'll get a nice head shave, depending on how much time I have, that sort of thing, for shower shave. If it's in the morning, I'll speed things up a little bit by using something like the Omni shaver. I did this the other day, and I used the Nivea shave cream right here, sensitive shave cream. So, if I'm kind of pressed for time in the shower and I forgot to do it the night before, I'll do it in the morning before I get out the door, and I'll use something like this, the Omni shaver, that sort of thing. There are times where if I have a little more time, I'll use the SE, the Supply SE razor in the shower in the morning. But ideally, what I like to do is a face shave in front of the sink earlier in the day, and then a head shave in front of the sink in the evening, an evening head shave. But my go-to, ideally, is the Supply SE razor in front of the sink, sometimes in the shower. All right, that's a really, really great question, Johnny. Thanks very much for sending it along. We'll leave it to all the viewers out there. What's your routine for doing a face shave and a head shave? You break it up during the day? Do you do one in the shower, one in the sink? Do you do both of them in front of the sink? Do you do them both at the same time? Please comment below and let us know. Johnny, a really terrific question for discussion. Thanks very much for sending it along. Really do appreciate it. Now, earlier in the show, we mentioned a heads up from Bill Murphy regarding Italian barber shaving. And what he sent along was this link to a page. We'll also provide the link below. You can visit it. It's Lathered, August 9th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Box of Moonlight, Brooklyn, New York City. Come and browse indie fragrance houses and shaving soap artisans under one roof. It looks like this is being hosted by Ariana and Evans. What is Lathered? Lathered is the first event of its kind to serve as an intersection of indie perfumery and traditional grooming. We will be hosting 15 independent vendors of indie fragrance houses and wet shaving artisans for the public to explore and shop. Lathered is a free admission expo. We truly want to celebrate the community and give people the space to connect with others who share similar passions. Enjoy complimentary wine, cheese, and hors d'oeuvres, as well as a raffle. Our special guest, Italian barber Danielle Malou, will be traveling from Rome, Italy to offer traditional straight razor shaves. A limited number of appointments will be available by advance reservation. What inspired this event? At Ariana and Evans, we focus on traditional wet shaving products as well as indie fragrances. We have so much respect and admiration for both communities, so we thought an event to serve as a crossover of both art forms would be incredible. Thus, Lathered was born. We pride ourselves on accessibility, so this event is free admission. All are welcome. This is a safe space for everyone. Whether it's a new fragrance, skincare product, soap, or connection, we hope you leave with something you didn't arrive with. How about that? Wow, that is fantastic. A big thank you to Bill Murphy for the heads up on this. Bill, thank you so much for sending along the link and the information. Once again, Lathered, August 9th, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Box of Moonlight, Brooklyn, New York City. We'll have the link below. Check it out. It sounds like a fabulous event being sponsored by Ariana and Evans. Bill, thanks again very much. And a big thank you to Ariana and Evans for hosting an absolutely fabulous event. Gentlemen, thank you again very much. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarkZerati, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. From the 3MB, where every shave tells a story, make it a great week.